Hello, my fellow warmongers. How is everyone doing? Alright, it's Fair War here, and welcome to another replay for Total War Warhammer. Guys, I've got you a good game today between Dark Elves and Empire. So let's check the builds first, and then we'll get right into formation. Alright guys, so for the formations, for myself playing as a Dark Elf, I have the true king of Anarian himself, the Witch King Malekith. Riding on a cold one with the Winds of Magic spell, Chill Wind, and the item with the miscast chance. Added to that, I've got also Soul Stealer. I've got 3 Dread Spears, 4 Bleak Swords, 1 Witch Elf, a Black Guard of Nagaron, 2 Dark Shards with shields, and the reason I got them with the shield variant this time is because against the Empire, most probably you'll fall into a skirmish fight. 2 Dark Riders, a Cold One Knight, and a Cold One Dread Knight for the higher armor piercing, good frontline cavalry. As for my opponent, he's playing with Empire, and he's got for his lord Boris Todbringer on a Griffin with the full kit, a Light Wizard with the net of Amentok, fast protection, and the freaking missiles, 4 Spearmen ranked up to rank 3, 2 Swordsmen ranked up to rank 3, 3 Great Swords, 3 Crossbowmen, a Demigryph Knights with Halberd, and the Hammer of the Witches. So this build, I've got some comments on it, but I'll keep it till the end of the game so you can actually see why I have these comments. Alright guys, let's check the game and see how it went. Alright guys, let's get right into formations. So for my formation, I've got my 4 Bleak Swords in the center there, just a good frontline unit, mainly used as center. My Dread Spears are all around my formation, defending against any cav rush coming in from the rear, the sides, the flanks, and anywhere else. Witch Elves, of course, put in the center so they can actually run to any direction needed, so they can actually get their unit rampaging and I can do whatever I want with it. Black Guard of Nagaron, same here, ready to defend the rear or maybe help out at the front. Dark Shards in the center, easiest place to protect. My Cav contingent of the Cold One Knights with the Cold One Dread Knights and Malekith at the right flank over here. My 2 Dark Riders, 1 in each corner, and because the reason I put them far away in that corner, because if my opponent is not looking like this, there is no way he can actually see them. Look at the minimap. Cannot see them, so putting these guys on the corners like this, that is the best option, especially when you're going against a faction that brings skirmish units or strong skirmish units like the Empire. My opponent's formation, he's got the Great Swords with the Swordsman right there in the center, the Great Swords forming up his center. Right behind it, he's got 3 Crossbowmen, the Hammer of the Witches, Demigryph Knights, Boris Todbringer on his Griffin, the Light Wizard. The Light Wizard, I said he has net as Amentok, but he has actually fast protection and the freaking gaze of whatever its face, the magic missiles. Each 2 Spearmen on each flank ready to defend against incoming cav. So let's remove the pause. So immediately when I saw he had the Hammer of the Witches, I didn't give it a second thought. I rushed him, like no quarters. I noticed that he's got his Spearmen at the flank, so I was like, okay, if I'm going to flank, I'll go around, I'll find Spearmen. I'll go around, I'll fight Demigryph Knight. So I was like, let's try out something else. So what I thought of, I'll send them in through the center, add the Great Swords or the Swordsman. Then he will commit his Demigryph Knights over here, and he will free up this flank, which will give me an opportunity to use my Dark Riders to actually come in from the rear. Like, if I don't care really about the damage incoming on the Cold One Dread Knights, Cold One Knights, as long as he's not hitting the Cold One Dread Knights, I'm fine with that. But yeah, too much damage on these guys. Will rampage in a second. Very nice net from my opponent. Gotta hand it to him. That was a very nice net. So he caught only 1 unit. I sent in my Cold One Knights here, hoping that he will send in his Demigryph Knights, which he immediately did, and I just fell in love with that because that gave me the best opportunity to get in with my Dark Riders from each flank and just shut off his skirmish units. Crossbowmen firing at the Cold One Dread Knights, very nice choice of unit to fire at. Dark Shards immediately gave them an order to start firing on the armored units of the Great Swords. Dark Riders will, one Dark Rider shot off that crossbow and the other one will shot off this Hammer of the Witches. These Dread Spears were being sent, these Spearmen are being sent against the Cold One Dread Knights. Immediately I countered by sending in these Dread Spears to hold down the right flank. I already have all his units busy, so I found, okay, maybe I'll flank around with that Dread Spears, maybe it's going to help me. And remember when I told you why I get the shield variant? As you can see, he's focusing them and then he's doing absolutely nothing. Not a lot of damage, really. Like with each arrow hitting, it's only like 10 health or something stupid like that. Casted Soul Stealer there. I actually didn't realize until I played that game that it's strong versus single combatants and weak versus multiple combatants. So yeah, next time I'll make sure to cast Soul Stealer on heroic units. I actually thought it was the other way around. Anyways, so Boris Thoughtbringer is being used at the back to take care of the Dark Riders. I pulled back my Dark Riders immediately when I saw the Spearmen coming in on them. Murder Prowess just hit, and it's a very sad story for the Empire at the moment, with increased armor-piercing missile damage, melee attack, armor-piercing damage from all of the units. Yeah, that's not looking so good. He dropped down with Boris on the Dark Shards. Finally, he realized that these guys are doing a lot of damage, but immediately when I saw this, I'll send in my Witch Elves. I'll pull back my Black Guards of Nagaron. Oh no, I'm not pulling them back. They're already at the rear there. So I was like, okay, I'll use them as a frontline unit and say, fuck it. Sent in Malekith to keep him in place and maybe get in some armor-piercing damage, help out the Witch Elves, but he's not fucking rampaging, and I really want him to rampage, because if he would have rampaged right now, I would have won the game easily at this moment. Like, but yeah, he rampaged there for 1 second, which gave me another opportunity to get out of volley. These guys are getting attacked from the side by the crossbowmen, not a very good idea. For me, I need to... so I pulled them back away from the crossbowman range, so I can get time so these Black Guards of Nagaron can actually come back and help. Saw these Demigryph Knights coming in, tried to cast Chill Wind. Apparently, if the banner is not in the casting area, it will not affect them. Yeah, I don't know why though, like fucking units just got hit by Chill Wind and nothing happened. Casted a very nice net over here, my opponent, gotta hand it to him. Like, he kept my Dark Shards, but in the same time, his Light Wizard got routed, so the net got broken. So now I have a hold on these Demigryph Knights. Sent in Boris again on the Dark Shards, very nice choice, but immediately I'll send in my Witch Elves. My opponent will realize that, run away, and then I'll change my mind and get in on these Demigryph Knights to just keep them in place, and then hopefully I'll pull back these Black Guard of Nagaron soon-ish. Yeah, there we go. So they can do some damage on the Demigryph Knights, but yeah, the Witch Elves with Malekith and the Dark Shards, that's enough damage on these Demigryph Knights for them to rout and then completely get away. I'm just using my units now. I don't care really about the center. All he's got left right now are Spearmen and Swordsmen, and these guys alone can take care of him easily. So I was like, okay, I'll just see whatever damage I can do there. I was like, okay, some routing units over there, send in the Dark Riders, why not get some damage. And the Great Swords are very like high value unit, take care of them easily in the beginning. Good choice, all good. These Dread Spears are doing good. They're keeping 2 units busy. My opponent was really not on top of his micro. Like, he had a lot of units just fighting 1 unit and all that. Like, he outnumbered me in the beginning. Oh, actually, he didn't. Okay, we're both like together. So now Boris dropped in on these Dark Riders. I immediately casted this Chill Wind, overcasted. He dropped his speed, dropped down to 27. Not looking so good for Boris. This is when my opponent will just realize that this is just too much for him, and then he will call it quits. Right now, maybe? Yeah, there we go. And it's a good game. Very well played to my opponent. Thank you, Mukib, for playing against me, man. I enjoyed the game a lot. So, as I said before, I had some comments on my opponent's build. Spearman, all around, very good unit. Chevron on Spearman, even better. Chevron on Swordsman, I don't really get the point. Like, if you would have removed the Chevrons and removed the 2 Swordsmen, you'd have gotten another Great Sword, which would have been a much better choice. 3 crossbowmen, not a very good idea versus Dark Elves. Dark Elves tend to get a lot of armored units. Maybe the only non-armored unit are the Witch Elves. And I think also the Dread Spears are not that armored, but all the units tend to have silver shields. All the Dark Elf unit tend to have silver shields, so just having armor-piercing damage by the handgunners would have been a lot better than these crossbowmen. Demigryph Knights with halberds, very good unit, but I didn't get why he didn't get the Royal Aldov Griffites. Hammer of the Witches, not a very good choice. Dark Elves do not really get a lot of large units. The only large unit they have are the Cav unit, which the Empire's Cav, like the Royal Aldov Griffites and the Demigryph Knights, can take them down easily. And in the same time, the Hammer of the Witches will not do a lot of damage against Malekith on a dragon, because he can just avoid it, you know, like keep dodging it and all that sort of shit. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this game. Please don't forget, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll get to see you in the next video. Cheers and have a nice day.